What aspect of your life now would most shock your 16-year-old self? I've done all the fun things I thought I missed out on in high school because I had no friends. That I actually have the life I wanted back then. I'm not surfing every damn day and the ocean is so fucking close. I'm a disappointment to my younger self. Not my love life, my career, my house, my car, my bank account, none of that. But the phone I carry in my pocket that's many times more powerful and capable than any computer known to the world when I was that age. With free, long distance and a global communications network that lets me send messages essentially for free to anyone in the world. That's what would shock little teenaged me. Definitely. I carry a tiny touchscreen around everywhere with me. It's a phone, camera, music player, television, book and computer. 16 years old me would have been mind-blown that at any point in time I can just go, I want to listen to any song I'm thinking of, type it in and off I go. I've been sober for about 7 years. That would trip the shit out of my 16-year-old self. That I would get into 4 upcoming wrecks. 4 in 3.5 years. With the biggest one causing a traumatic brain injury, and I would have to relearn how to walk and talk all over again. That I'm married to a man. When I was 16, gay people couldn't get married and I had already planned to stay closeted my whole life and marry a woman. How fat I am, lol. Cut my hair. Am Sikh. Was it emotional for you or no big deal? I'm told about half of Sikh men in India get haircuts and don't wear the turban anymore. No big deal if I'm going to be honest, my father didn't approve. But I felt like I was living a lie by continuing to wear the turban. It felt more like performative worship than religious. I respect you not succumbing to the pressure to conform, monsieur, that can be particularly difficult when it comes to religion. Not having a bunch of thick hair and several yards of fabric on your head must be nice and hot. Weather. The fact that I don't own a titty bar by this point. Where did it all go wrong? My job choice and that I got that super handsome sweet man by my side with me. 16-year-old self thought I would die alone. This exactly. I was certain that no one would actually like or love the real me. And I had accepted that I would either die alone or settle for someone who mildly mistreats me. I hit the jackpot with my husband. I'm currently curled up in bed with the girl I had a crush on at 16 whom I believe to be straight. That would absolutely knock me for a loop. I got the girl, and I've kept her for that last 20 years. I actually got together with a girl I had a huge crush on in high school. Only took 15 more years to pull it off. Never give up, guys. Sometimes playing the long game works out. Did you actually play the long game, though? Or did you just procrastinate on making the moves? Either way, congratulations on getting a girlfriend. That not a lot has changed in my mental state. If anything, it has gotten worse. Cheering for you, mate. I hope some help presents itself to you soon, whatever form it takes. I'm 16 and a half, so I guess the whole quarantine thing took us all by surprise. I didn't expect to be in self-isolation 6 months ago. Well, I'm living as woman now, so probably be a little shocked about that. So, we get boobs. Like, all day? All day. The fact that I now travel the country in an RV and live in it full-time. 16-year-old me never would have expected to leave my home state. That the boyfriend I will dump in 2 years will become my husband at 47. That's funny how things work. My grandma had a BF in collage before meeting my grandpa. More than 15 years after my grandpa died of cancer, she began spending time with her collage sweetheart and is now spending the rest of her life with him. I just bought a new vacuum cleaner and I'm very excited. I think before the age of 30, I was like, why is this Dyson guy so obsessed with vacuums? At age 35, the clouds parted, the angels sung, and I finally understood the Dyson man. By age 40, I wanted to be the Dyson man. I figure by age 50, I'll be the Dyson man, probably in some sort of Silence of the Lambs, Buffalo Bill type scenario. Quite haven't figured it out. I just got my first Dyson last week. It was a revelation. My birthday was 2 days ago and I spent time vacuuming. Graduating university. At 16 I was dealing with severe panic disorder and had to be homeschooled because I couldn't even go near my school without panicking. At 22 I just graduated from one of the best universities in the country with a degree that I love, and a grade I'm proud of, being openly gay and married to a dude that I consider myself an confident and outgoing extroverted person. As a toddler I was very social and outgoing. Sadly, bullying up to the end of high school took that away from me. In the years after, I'm 25 now, I've really gotten back to being a very social and outgoing person. I still enjoy solitude from time to time, but back then I never thought I'd be so confident with words. At 16 I was super religious, so my atheist drinking, smoking current self would shock the hell out of that dude. I was kinda the opposite. An NBSP. 16 yo me, I wanna try drugs. 25 yo me, sweet Jesus. Drugs are scary. I'm fucking buying a house. Holy shit. Congratulations. My confidence and self-esteem. See? It did get better. All it took was like 20 therapists. Lol, congrats. At 16 I was planning on going to BYU, then on a mission, then married in the temple to a man, living the perfect Mormon life. Now I'm married to a woman. Can't imagine my life any different. My girlfriend was raised Mormon and I was raised with Mormon-flavored insanity. She went on a mission overseas, married an LDS man, and it turned out absolutely miserable. A couple of decades later, we're together. I grow hydroponic weed in the basement, brew beer, and occasionally distill liquor. We're part of a swingers group. She's bisexual, and we both drink coffee. It's interesting to see what people become when they give up the religion and try to find themselves. Thanks, sounds awesome. I'd totally hang out with you guys. It's amazing what can happen when you start thinking for yourself. That I'm happy, and also that I'm engaged to a man. 16-year-old me thought I was exclusively into women. Turns out, I'm just more inclined towards women. And I happened to meet an amazing person who happens to be a man. That I'm still struggling to get along with my mother. 16-year-old me would probably freak out, in a good way, at the career I've landed in. He'd also be bummed I'm still short and now bald. What career do you have? I'm a video game artist. That I am a big fan of the Beatles and enjoy classical music. I listened to only metal when I was 16. Also, the fact that I have a girlfriend that has lasted longer than a few weeks. And a university degree. Loving with my girlfriend. Don't feel ugly or lonely. Don't want to die. How much money I make. I remember making $6.75 an hour and thinking $10 per hour was almost unreachable. I make many times that. Now, I'm divorced and happy. That I can have sex whenever I want to, yet I choose to mostly not. That I'm a girl. That one would definitely be a shocker. Did you not know at 16? Or just didn't think you would ever go through with it all? I had strong feelings I should have been a girl since I was about 8. It got crazy in my teen years and didn't help that I was severely depressed. If transgender was as known about back then as it is now, I would probably be a girl right now too. Although I am attracted to women still. So I'm married and have kids and am happy now. But I still kinda feel like I should be a woman. Just don't think I'm going to pursue that in my lifetime. Once I met my wife I was able to kind of relax and live with being a man. Glad you went through with it though. Hope you are happy. Did you change your gender? Yep, and happier than ever as a result. Nice. Having disabled kids. Some mental illnesses in my family. I imagine it's in most. But that's it. The possibility that I would have multiple disabled kids would have never entered my mind. Probably that I am an ordained Protestant minister and a Bible teacher. At 16, I was a very lapsed Catholic who wanted nothing to do with religion. Keep spreading the good word, my man. The fact that I'm still alive. I always thought I'd never make it to my 20s. I grew up convinced I'd be dead before my 30th birthday. No idea where I got that belief. It's been nearly 2 decades since I didn't die on schedule, and I'm still dealing with problems I caused myself in my 20s. Lost weight, got into med school with a scholarship, and have met my soulmate. That I've gone no contact with both of my parents. I had no idea they were entirely and dangerously fucked up until I was 28. Nothing. Since I'm still 16. We'll see what happens later. But I think I'm doing pretty well for myself. That I'm a young widow with 2 kids. Supporting my family. Paying the bills. Coping reasonably well emotionally. Been single since my husband died. Coming up on 5 years. 16-year-old me hadn't been single since age 11, and jumped right into another long relationship straight after her first 5-year relationship ended. I became an adult and then a widow without ever learning to function outside of a couple. I learned, eventually, that I am a married mother of 2 and I did not marry the guy the first was with in high school. I was very naive since the guy was my second boyfriend. It took me 4 years to realize that we were just not a good fit. That I found the kind of love I thought I'd never find, then cheated and destroyed everything. Brutally honest, I like it. I work for a large multinational corporation. I still listen to my Dirt Bombs and Richard Hell albums. Though, I wear shorts. It took me over 30 years to be okay with wearing shorts. And I have lived in regular 80 to 90 degree heat for most of my life. God, the whole life honestly. When I was 16 I had nothing in my room but a bed and a dresser and a couple posters. I was going through a terrible breakup, and I had no confidence. No happiness. I was self-harming a lot. We were broke all the time and couldn't even get things like milk or bread at some points. If 16-year-old me saw my current life, she probably wouldn't think it's the same person. I have furniture now, and gaming setups. I've got a new bed. The bed I had at 16 was one my neighbors were getting rid of and I was sleeping on the floor at the time. And the guy I'm with now I've been dating for 3 years. He's an absolute blessing for me. We have joint finances. Both have jobs. I have everything I could ever want. We can afford to go to the store immediately if we're out of something, and we even pay my parents $180 a month for electricity, internet, my boyfriend's phone and tablet payments and service fees and the payments for my phone. My parents said they'll still pay for service. And I'm truly happy. I didn't think I'd live past 17 and here I am. 22 and I am happy, confident, and as successful as a young girl in the US can be in my circumstances, lol. I have plenty of disposable income and don't spend it on video games that much. That I'm the mom of a 16-year-old girl. I'm not as determined or ambitious as I used to be. That I 100% left the community I was raised in. I was a die-hard zealot at 16, lol. That I got away with all those satanic ritualistic sacrifices. What? The sheer number of hours I spend working, going to work or prepping for work. I worked so hard in school to make sure I could have some room for family and friends, but it turns out that only makes you more in demand. The prettiest hookers get fucked the most, I guess. Greater than the prettiest hookers get fucked the most, I guess. Do you write poetry? Technically I was richer when I was 16, in the plus. That I've got a body count over 80. Herpes, anxiety, depression, ADHD, and a fiancé, all at the same time. Shit's wild. It is. Never in a million years thought this would be me. When I was 16, or maybe 17, I drove my first BMW. I was hooked and knew I needed one. 16-year-old me would be so excited that I finally got one a couple of years ago, right before my 26th birthday, while also working towards my PhD. That I actually want to live now. that I live in a foreign country, writing comedy, and not keeping kosher. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.